फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं, जो तारी राय तो मानेगा। Nothing to do, nowhere to go. देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक। किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना। Who asked you, even zero complaint level, मौज में रहो, be happy. Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Duren Yavaram Karma Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya Buddhau Sharanamandvichak Kripanaha Phalahetavaha. In the second chapter, Bhagavan Krishna told all that what an individual should live in this world, Karmanyevadhikarasya, etc. One should not mistake, therefore one should get engaged in karma, karma, karma. Therefore, after having explained this, then Bhagavan also told, Kripanaha Phalahetavaha. Whatever we are doing, what will I get? This is the attitude. What will I get? So such people have not stepped on the spiritual path even once. Then Buddhau Sharanamanvicha, they have started inquiring as to what it is. So, Sada Vicharayet Tasmat Jagat Jiva Paratmanaha Jiva Bhava Jagat Bhava Badhe Svatmaiva Shishyate. Therefore, Vicharayet Tasmat, one should inquire. Therefore, what is Jiva, Jagat and Paramatma? And when Jiva Bhava and Jagat Bhava, meaning what? The world is real and I, the one who is going through good and bad experiences, he is also real. When these two errors are corrected, what remains is the reality. Now, this should not lead to a mistaken understanding. Therefore, the next verse, the teacher says, Na apratitihi tayor badha kintu mithyatva nishchaya. Yesterday we have come up to here. Things will be same, there will be no change. Change will be in us. What is our present state? Present state is we react to our experiences. And therefore, somebody is born who is reacting. Now, if we practice this, that some things are seen, but they are not real. So, perception is not the issue. When perception is followed by giving a status of reality to the perceived objects, then the problems begin. See? Like a boy sees so many girls, no problem. Then one girl he sees and he starts thinking that she is only meant for me, etc., etc. As a result, he has given a status of reality to that girl to be my would-be wife. The whole life will change thereafter. had he seen anybody, as he has seen so many of them, but he did not give a status of the projected wife on those ladies or girls. And therefore, perception is never a problem. When perception is followed by projection, then the problems begin. Therefore, na apratitir badaha. It is not that I have not seen. If you have not seen, then what is the greatness? See? It is something like an old couple. See? If you want to enjoy life, spend few minutes with the old couple. But both should be alive and pretty old. Then give them chavi and watch. They will be fighting with each other. So this is how I spend my time. So I asked one old man, Uncle, when you were in so many countries, you must be having international driving license. Yes. So tell me how many minus points you have on your license. Not even a one, Swamiji. Wow. Wife uvacha. How will you get any minus point? Did you drive any time? So if there are no problems and then we are not miserable, what is our greatness? World will be like this. We have to live in this very world. This is what I said here. Na apratiti, but tayoho badha. Badha means what? Mithyatva nishchaya. So don't take anything too seriously, as I take satsanga as just a time pass. You don't have to teach us. Why? Do you think we are taking it seriously? See? Our people at home, they tell us now and then, you have not gone Amma for satsang for so many days. And they book ticket and send you. And you think they love you. Therefore it is said, when you go to satsang, there is peace. But where? When you leave the place, that place there is peace. Chalo aaddi. See friends. So mithyatva nishchayaha na chet sushupti murchado muchet ayatnataha jana. Otherwise, non-perception is the meaning of realization. Then everybody who is sleeping is realized, but this is not true. Now hereafter, the technicalities begin. Paramatma vasheshopi tat satyat vinishyaha na jagat vismrutir no che jiva muktir na sambhave. The absolute reality alone remains. See? When the divorce happens, there is no wife, there is no husband. But the man or the woman remains. He doesn't die. So, Paramatma avasheshepi tas satyatva vinishchaya. Thereafter we have to conclude this, that this man or the woman behind husband or the wife, they are the reality, and those who were suffering, they never existed and they were never miserable. See friends. Na jagat vismruti, no na jiva mukti na sambhavet. Therefore, unless this is achieved, there will be neither the world will be denied nor there will be liberation. So you will continue as first I was miserable because of my wife, then I divorced. Then what happened? आकाश से टपके खजूर पे लटके. See? Earlier I was miserable because of my wife. Then I took divorce. Now I am miserable because of no wife. So I am again thinking, whether should I get married to the same one or should I change, give it a try. So we are constantly seeking to become somebody. In being there is no problem. In becoming there is no solution. Therefore, here now we are to tell how do we complete and contemplate our reflection on the self. Paroksha cha paroksheti vidya dveda vicharaja tatra aparoksha vidyaptau vicharoyam samapyate. So there are two types of knowledge vidya. One is paroksha jnanam, second is aparoksha jnanam, jnanam or vidya. What you are hearing is paroksha jnana. You are only hearing. And as a husband or a wife, you are essentially a man and a woman. This is aparoksha jnanam. See? Now, what you have to do or I have to do to make you realize that you are a man or a woman, although you are married or not married? Nothing. So, what is the difference between the paroksha jnanam, aparoksha jnanam? Paroksha jnana is what we hear, and aparoksha jnanam is our direct experience, which does not call for operation of any known means of knowledge. Hey, how come you say you are husband? Come on here, she is my wife beating my head all the time. How do you know you are? Do you know? Because of the sense organ. I think I am. See? Or do we leak? I think my home. No. Our being is established without going through any known means of knowledge. See, my friends, how simple it is. So, paroksha, aparoksheti, vidyadveda, vicharaja and vicharaja, they are born out of proper inquiry. Tatra aparoksha vidyapto vicharoyam samapyate. Then what you are hearing is the paroksha vidya. Then vicharaja. Now you reflect on this. What is said. And then aparoksha vidyapto ayam vicharaha samapyate. So when you come to discover that you are essentially the man, not the husband, when you come to discover you are essentially divine, not the miserable personality, happy, miserable, successful, unsuccessful, jiva, all these things will disappear. Thereafter, will everything disappear? No, everything will continue to be. But earlier, what status of reality we are given to this world, that status of reality will disappear. And therefore, when we take this world as an appearance without existence, we are abiding in the truth. Similarly, we are being, but we became after body identification. And what is the logic behind body identification? No logic. It is just like that. There is no logic. See? So when you vicharaja, you reflect on it. Is the body created by me? No. Is the body listening to me? No. Then how can I be the body? But I am body is my direct experience. How do you know you are body? Through which channel? Through the sense organs you know? Through the mind you know? Through the intellect you know? We just take it for granted. If we have to inquire this way. On what foundation we say that I am this body. But we take it for granted and continue our life thereafter. Therefore, vicharaja, inquire properly, and this proper inquiry will lead us that we are essentially divine and not either the body or the jiva. Therefore, this point we told 100 times. Only 2 steps we have to cross. Step number 1, freedom from body identification. Step number 2, freedom from the notion that we are a jiva. Nobody can help us. I am body is not the problem. Only this body, I am that body, I am not is the problem. See? Meaning what? Perception of otherness is not an issue. But taking the perception as real is the issue. Like the reflection in the mirror. There is a perception of otherness for the ignorant animals or small kids. And therefore it becomes an issue for them. But for we the grown-ups, Although we are seeing the same mirror, same type of reflection, but we don't give it a status of reality. On the contrary, from that reflection, our attention goes back to ourselves. In the same manner, when we are moving in this world, while moving and interacting with this world, if our experience brings us back to ourselves, then we have studied Vedanta. आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समम पश्यति अर्जुन सुखम वा यदि वा दुःखम स योगी परमो मतः. As we see the joy and happiness of others, they are equally ours, then only we have come back to the divinity that we are. Now, paroksha aparoksha is further explained. Asti brahmeti chedveda paroksha jnanameva tat aham brahmeti chedveda sakshatkarasya uchyate. Now, what is the paroksha jnanam? Paroksha, para means other, aksha means eyes. We have not seen. There is hell, there is heaven, there was Bhagavan Krishna, there was Bhagavan Ram. We don't know. We have not seen. Meaning, that experience which is gathered through the known means of knowledge is called as paroksha jnanam. See? So, we heard that there was such and such thing, we agreed, we don't disagree. But then what is aparoksha jnanam? So, asti brahmeti chedveda paroksha jnanam. We heard that there is Brahman, there is Bhagavan, there is Paramatma, agreed. There is paroksha jnanam. Then, aham brahmeti chedveda. But that Brahman I am, if this is sakshatkara, then it is called as the aparoksha jnanam. See, friends, how simple it is and how it can be achieved. Once we are convinced, see, conviction is necessary for walking spiritual path. It is not for those who are dropouts of life. Succeed and reject. The best example I can think of is easier for Indians to understand. For Americans, it's difficult. We go buy a piece of sugar cane, walking, and we put it in our mouth and go and chew. Suck all the juice. There is nothing. Being ideal Indian, on the road and go away. America, they collect all the garbage in themselves. So, what is our attitude when we throw away that leftover? Regrets, achievement. Now, there is no juice, there is no rus in that. In the same manner, live in this world dynamically, succeed, and thereafter reject it. Then see the joy of it. Otherwise, Majburi ka naam Mahatma Gandhi. A person was hungry for so many days and all, no food, no nothing. And then, hey, what happened? No, I am follower of Mahatma Gandhi. No, you don't get food. Food is available, you have got freedom to eat, you have got capacity to eat, and yet you are not tempted and still remain untouched by presence or absence of the things and beings. That is what is meant here. So, aham brahmeti chedveda sakshatkarasya uchyate. So, what is the Brahman morning's meditation? Like the space, infinite, without beginning, modification, end. That is our essential nature. That is the sakshatkarasya uchyate. Now, after we are clear with the foundation, now, tat sakshatkarartham siddhyartham atma tattva vivichyate. Yenayam sarva samsarat adya eva vimuchyate. Now, to come to experience this divinity that we are, now, siddhyartham atma tattva vivichyate. Now, we have to separate the self from the not self. Viveka. You know, there are 2-3 types of viveka or discrimination. One type of discrimination we all know, Sankhya. They call it Jada Chetan Viveka. Anybody can easily understand. Like, the experiencer is the Chetana, the experience is the Jada. Like, I am the experience, the table is the experience, the Jada. I am the experience, I am experiencing you. See? What I am experiencing is only the Jada aspect. See how true it is. So, Vivicha, this is the Sankhya Vivek. Then the Vivek of Vedanta is what? Sat Asad Vivek. Sat means is existence. Asat means non-existence. How can you discriminate between existence and non-existence? Means existence alone is. There is nothing like absence. Even the absence is established by something which is present. See? So this ultimate existence, Sadvastu, is our essential nature. Therefore, tad sakshatkar siddhartham atma tattva vimuchyate. Yena ayam sarva samsarat sadya eva vimuchyate. By this viveka, instantaneously we are liberated from this changing phenomena which we are supporting constantly. Childhood has come and gone, changes at the body. Teenage has come and gone, changes at the physiological function. Then the middle age has gone, come and gone, changes at the emotional level. Then old age has come, will go. Don't tell further. We are the same. Nothing has touched us. Now, in this, do you require any training? Do you require any authority? Do you require any proof? Is it not our experience? Now, if we do not learn from our own experiences, who can teach us? So, Amit is okay, but these butting fellows are good for nothing. Respect your own experience. So, tasmat tat sakshatkara siddhartham atma tattva vimuchyate yena ayam sarva samsarat sadya eva pramuchyate. Instantaneously you are liberated. Exactly what you do when you take a divorce. The moment papers are signed finally, thereafter you go your way, I go mine. Everything is over. You don't do anything. That man doesn't die, the lady doesn't die. The one who was suffering, they also don't die. Because they never existed. See, friends. So, Kutasto Brahma Jivesho iti evam chaturvidha ghatakasha mahakasho jalakasha bhra keyatha. Now here, this example is given. This is a very beautiful example, but little confusing to understand unless we are subtle to understand. See? The pure consciousness, Chit, Yatha Chaturvidha, the consciousness has to be recognized in 4 different ways. Just like the Ghatakasha, Mahakasha, Jalakasha and Abra Akasha, 4 of them. So, Kutastha Brahma Jiva iti evam vidha. So, this Kutastha and the Brahma, then the Jiva and the Ishvara. These are the 4 things we have to understand. So, now what is this Ghatakasha, Mahakasha, Jalakasha and Cloudkasha? This we have to understand. This looks very tricky, but it is simple. Ghatakasha avachinna khe, in the pot there is a space, pot space. In that pot space there is water, niram yatra. In that waters, in the pot, there will be reflection of the space. See? So, that will be called as the pot space. And Sa Abra Nakshatra, along with the clouds and everything. That is one space. It will be called as Jalakasha because it is reflected in the waters. first. Okay, then the second one. Mahakashasya madhe, in the total space, yat meghamandalam ikshate. There are so many clouds, and each cloud is nothing but minute droplets of water. So, if there can be a reflection of the clouds and the space in the water in the pot, which is called as the Jalakasha, similarly, where there are clouds, there are water droplets, and in that also there must be a reflection of the clouds and the water points. We may not see that, but it has to be there because water is reflecting. So Mahakashasya madhe yan meghamandalam ikshate pratibimbataya tatra meghakasho jale sthitaha. So that will be called as the meghakasha because it is reflected in the cloud. Now the third one. Meghamsha rupa mudakam tusha akara samsthitam tatra kha pratibimboyam niratvam anumiyate. But we don't see the waters there in the clouds. No, you have to understand clouds are nothing but the small droplets of water, anumiyate, and therefore we have to infer that there is reflected space or the sky, the clouds in those water droplets. Then adhishthanataya deha dvaya vachinna chetanaha kutastha nirvikarena sthita kutastha uchyate. Now kutastha chaitanya. This word Kutastha comes in Bhagavad Gita also in the 15th chapter. Dvau imo purusho loke ksharascha kshara evacha ksharas sarvani bhutani kutastho kshara uchyate. Now who is the Kutastha? Kuta means anvil, a substratum. An anvil is the one which is supporting all the modifications of the heated iron. The blacksmith will be heating it and changing. From the round he will make the flat, and from the straight he will make it curved, and from the blunt he will make it sharp. Everything is heated and hit on that anvil. So anvil is supporting all the changes, but the anvil doesn't undergo any change. That is the Kutastha. Kutavat tishtati. Now, Kutastha we. Bhagavan Krishna says, Kutastho kshara uchyate. So, though imo purusho, one reality is expressing in two ways. Kshara, akshara. All the panchakoshas and everything, they are the kshara prakriti. Kshara purusha. And in that kshara, the Paramatma is reflected as Chidabhasa, called as the Jiva, Akshara Purusha. Now, neither the Jiva can be destroyed, nor the Paramatma can be destroyed. Therefore, Akshara. Why Paramatma cannot be destroyed? Because Akshara, immutable. Jiva also cannot be destroyed, because he doesn't exist. Understand. This we have to clearly, distinctly understand. See? Nobody can help us in this. Where the child that we were has gone. Died. See? It was never there. When a divorce happens, where the husband has gone, where wife has gone? Nowhere. See, again and again reflect on this. So, adhishthanataya dehadvaya avachinna chetanaha. So, the consciousness supporting, now which consciousness it is? Reflected consciousness. Reflected consciousness supporting dehadvaya, gross body and subtle body. Kutastha nirvikarena sthitaha. Now be very attentive. Reflection can be of something which exists. Consciousness is the light, it is reflected in the media called as the thought. And the reflected light along with the thought where the reflection has happened together is called as the jiva. So the light aspect is borrowed in the form of reflection, and the existence aspect is born or borrowed from the thought, and a non-existing entity is appearing. If there is no thought, there is no reflection, there is no jiva. In deep sleep, there is no thought, no reflection, no jiva. Then sleep. You don't have to tell us. Even in the satsanga we do that. So, adhishthānataya dehadvaya vachanna chetanaha kutastha nirvikarena. But when the reflection is destroyed because the thought is destroyed, will anything happen to the original light which was reflected? It will be the same. Therefore, neither the Paramatma get disturbed nor the reflected Paramatma called as the Jiva get, this is called as the Kutastha. Then continuing further, Kutasthe Kalpita Buddhi. Now in this Kutastha Chaitanya, Buddhi Kalpita, a thought or the intellect is imagined, projected. And Chit Pratibimbakaha Prananam Dharana Jiva. And in that reflected Buddhi, there is the reflection of the consciousness, and thereafter the reflected consciousness is responsible for holding the prana and the body, and therefore he is called the jiva. Samsarena yujyate. He is now responsible for going through good and bad experiences, various births. See? Now the same thought Bhagavad Gita brings out in a very beautiful way. First of all, what he says, that will be easier for you to understand. Mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha, Bhagavan says. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishtaha. I am the very heart of everything and being. First. Heart means without heart you can't survive. The very essence. I am the very existence behind all the appearance. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishtaha. What you do there? Mattaha, because of me, smriti, dream, jnanam, waking, apohanam, deep sleep, and chakara, samadhi. I support all the four experiences. Therefore, what is worthy of knowing? The samadhi is worthy of knowing, or deep sleep is worthy of knowing, or the waking is worthy of knowing, or dream is worthy of knowing? No. Aham eva vidya. When you know this aham, you have known all the four. Aham eva vidya. Now who is this aham? In the next verse, Bhagavan says, Do imo purusho loke ksharascha kshara evacha. The same Paramatma is both the essential and the superimposed. Superimposition is that of the matter, and essential is that of the Paramatma. So, though imo purusha, then what is the matter? Kshara sarvani bhutani. All that is changing is the maya prakriti and akshara kutastha uchyate. Now the one who is supporting all the changes without undergoing the change is called a kutastha. Now this kutastha chaitanya is now further falling down. So kutasthe kalpita buddhi. In this Kutastha Chaitanya, a buddhi intellect is projected, imagined, and in that intellect there is reflection of the Kutastha Chaitanya, and therefore the reflected consciousness in the thought, because of which the life is sustained, is called as the jiva. Up to here, I is not born. Jiva is a common term. It is not specific. Like husband can be anybody, wife can be anybody. In the same way, any living being is called as the jiva. But what happens? Instead of accepting it as a manifestation, we take it as individuality. And because of that, the suffering begins. If you take husband as a common noun, you will not suffer. If you take husband as a proper noun, you will nothing but suffer. See? How simple it becomes spiritual life if you have got this foundation. Prananam dharana Jiva samsarane yujyate. Now, once I take myself to be an individual jiva, then what will happen? I, as the husband, individual, will compare with other husbands. You are lucky, you have got a very understanding wife. My wife is so horrible, I don't know what to do with her. The other person says, when you will put on my shoes, then you will understand where they bite. See, mountains are beautiful from a distance. Go near, it's terrible. Therefore, the grass on the other side of the fence is always green. Our side it is not proper. So, jala vyomna ghata kasho yatha sarvastirohita. No? Jala vyomna, by the reflected space in the water, all the space in that pot is tirohitam, is covered. So just try to get this picture. Take a pot, dark color, whatever color, water is, first of all you see, empty pot, you can see the wall, everything. Then put water in that and keep it in the open space and then look at it. What you will see? Not the pot, nor the pot space, but your attention will be drawn to the reflection in the waters. But can that water exist without the pot? It cannot exist. But then when we see, what we say, oh, see how beautiful it is. What it is, the beautiful pot? No. The pot space? No. The water? No. Then reflection. See? The four stages. Similarly, when we are looking at the world, what we are seeing is the most, which is most obvious, the body. If we become little subtle, then we go to the intellectual level of that person. Then we become still more subtle, we go to the hidden, unmanifest ability of that person. And if we discard all of these coverings, then we discover Atma Upammena Sarvatra Samam Pashyati Arjuna. Everyone is recognized as the same reality what we have recognized ourselves. We look at the world what we have taken ourselves to be. When I take myself to be a Kannadiga, I will ask the other person, are you from Kannada? No. Immediately changes happen. So what we take ourselves to be? See? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, similarly. Indian, non-Indian. So we look at the world not what the world is. We look at the world what we have taken ourselves to be. This is the covering. This is the avidya. This is the ignorance which is covering our divine nature. See? So, jala vyomna ghata kashi yatha sarvati rohitaha tatha jivena kutastaha anyonya dhyasa uchyate. Now see, come to the same example. The pot space supporting the waters, and in that there is reflection of the clouds, etc. This reflection is covering, and reflection is existing in the water, and the water is existing in the pot, but the pot space is covered by both the water, the reflection, and everything, both together. If there is no pot, there won't be water, there won't be reflection. So if we have to define what is the reflection, reflection is both things put together. Exactly the same way. Tatha jivena kutastha asau anyonyadhyasa uchyate. Similarly, the absolute reality, the man, and superimposed reality, the husband. Now, if you have to define a husband, what will be the husband? Can only man be a husband now? Can only woman be a? No. Then man plus the covering of the wife on that man creates a miserable entity called a husband. These three things together is called as husband. Out of these three, which is the real? The reflection in the wife is real, or the wife is real, or the man is real. See, if there is no man, neither can be wife nor reflection. But if there is no wife, the man continues to exist. So, in this example of the husband and man is the Brahman and husband is the Jiva. And who is suffering? The Jiva. Now, this example you can multiply. We all suffer as somebody. Mother, father, in-law, outlaw, somebody or the other, they suffer. And the somebodies do not exist. And you know how the somebodies are born? Somebodies are born on two counts. There are problems of having something, and there are problems of not having something. Those who get married, if they don't have children, they suffer. Those who get married, they have children, they super suffer. Now what God will do? See, my friends, therefore, tatha jivena kutastha, so anyonya dhyasa uchyate. So, the reality of the man and the superimposed expression of the man in the upadhi of the wife, anyonya dhyasa. They are mutually superimposing each other. Therefore, I as a husband is real, and therefore my suffering as a husband is real. Anyonya dhyasa. Mutual superimposition. Like if you take a ball of steel, put it in the fire for about 2-3 hours, then lift it with your hand. Then what will be your experience? Fire is having no weight. Fire doesn't have weight. But then the weight of the iron is superimposed on the fire. And the iron is not bright, it is black. Then the color of the fire is superimposed on the iron. So what is that? Anyonyadhyasa, mutual superimposition. So the modifications of the Prakriti and the substratum which is supporting the modification, these two things together, and then we think that the substratum is modifying. It is not. The husband who is miserable, he doesn't exist. How can he be miserable? The mutual superimposition. But what happens? We take this husband as the reality, we take the jiva as the reality. And the day we recognize this, the jiva is just a technique of communication. And I told you that day only. What is the communication required? We are all expert in blaming others. So unless we become self-oriented, we have not stepped on the spiritual path. Presently we are self-centered. We have to be self-oriented. Being self-centered is jiva. Being self-oriented is a seeker. See? And those who are self-centered, they will ask the question, what will I get if I chant the Lord's name? See? The day this question will erase from our head, what will I get as a result of the spiritual life, you be very clear, you are not going to get anything. Are you ready for that? Then only step on this path. Otherwise, Purute Ganga Sagar Gamanam, do that. See, my friends, Nayam Atma Balahine Labhyaha. Oh God, I'm doing so much but nothing. I know you will not get anything. Then why should I come? Don't come. See? If you are coming for the first time on this channel, please subscribe and give 100 likes. One person asked me, Swamiji, should I put this kind of appeal on your video at like a moving strip? Please subscribe this channel. It will liberate you from the phone. I said, if you do that, I'll sue you. See, friends, it is not for the publicity. Spiritual life is not a public performance. See, many places it happens. Like these people, they sing. There is one good friend of mine from Bombay, very nice person, extremely talented. He was having some program in Delhi. And then he asked me, Swamiji, I am having this program, please bless me and all that. So, what should be my approach? I said, look here, I'll tell you whether you like or you don't like because you asked me. Music or bhajan or whatever you do is a bhoga. It is not a yoga. How? I said, see, when these people who perform on the stage, where is their attention? On the audience. And when the audience are not able to respond because the singers are dumb, then he doesn't give up. He takes the harmonium. People get tired and they tired, chup. And he thinks that it's the appreciation. Friends, spiritual life is not a performance on the stage. It is such a secret one that even God will not know. In the world, we have to prove something. When you are all alone, what you have to prove and to whom? See? Therefore, everything will be continuing as it is. But earlier, as we were tense, frustrated, achievement, failure, prove something, get something, all that burden will be dissolved in the fire of knowledge. So, jala vyomna ghatakashu yatha sarvatirohitaha tatha jivena kutastha so anyanyadhyasa uchyate. So, the jiva is covering the kutastha. The husband is covering the man. I don't know why Udyananda Swami has not given this example, husband and man. It becomes so local, isn't it? You feel very close to that. Yeah, really. As a husband, I am miserable. When I was not married, that time I was happy. No? So what should I do? But had you been really happy that time, why you got married? That is so true. So what you did, you imagined you are incomplete. Because you have taken yourself to be a body. And as a body, you will be incomplete. See? So, ayam jivo na kutastam vivinakti kadachana anadi avivekoyam mula vidyeti gamyatam. So, ayam jivaha na kutastaha vivinakti. So, the jiva is not able to recognize he is essentially divine. Now tell me, one person asked this question. How much time and energy it takes for us to realize? I said, who are you? I am so and so. Are you married? Yes. I said, tell me, you are a husband? Yes. How much time, energy, effort it will take for you to know that you are a man? What do you have to do? Do you have to kill the wife? Do you have to take a divorce? Do you have to go to the Himalayas? All doing ends and being begins. Being is man, becoming is husband. So what is spiritual practice? From the becoming, come back to the being. So it is not anything gained. When you got married, you gained a wife. But when you come back to yourself, you don't gain anything, you lose the wife. See? Therefore, ayam jivaha na kutastam vivinakti kadachana. But we are so much buried under this jiva bhava that we are unable to focus attention on something different than our own miseries. See? And these miseries are covering our divine nature. So what is the spiritual practice? Pretend you are realized. Pretend. Like we pretend now, I am sattvic. You know, this example also I told you probably. In our Vrindavan it happened. One lady, she came alone. I said, Mama, you came alone? What about your husband, son? I said, Swamiji, what to tell you? She is a satsang professional. What happened? Not well. No, they are okay. Then, what to tell you? My son, Tamoguni. Husband doesn't get time. He's so Rajoguni, all the time running. What about you? Sattva-guni. You go. These are called as religious abuses. See, and all the three gunas do not exist. This is only a method of communication. But we take it so real. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. And then we classify the world. Therefore, ayam jivana kutastha vivinakti. Why this happens? Because we consider ourselves to be someone extraordinary than others. Therefore, if a person is lethargic, etc., he can be improved by giving up the lethargy. If somebody is addict, he can be improved by giving up addiction. If somebody is workaholic, he can help himself by reducing the workaholism. But if somebody is very good, never drinks, never smokes, gets up early in the morning, does meditation, goes to the temple, and blah, 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 blah. Now there is no possibility of improvement. Then, konyosti sadrusho maya. I am not like others, lazy. Get up 8 o'clock. I get up in the morning at 4 o'clock and go to sleep again. In one go. My friends, this is not spiritual life. So, ayam jivo na vivinakti kadachana anadi vivekaha ayam. This is from the time unknown. Now see, in this cave, there is absolute darkness. Nobody can enter without light. Okay? Since how long is the darkness in this cave? Be attentive. Is darkness an object? What is darkness? Absence of light. Can absence have the beginning? If absence doesn't have beginning, the presence also doesn't have beginning. See? Since how long this world is, they will tell you kind of figures which we don't understand. 298 trillion light years before. We can't imagine more than 100 to 105,000 years. Even to imagine, Bhagavad Gita was told 5,000 years before, it is a strain on our mind. And so many trillions, first of all, we don't know what it is. And keep on talking. No meaning to that. So, ayam jivo no kutha vivekadajana anadi avivekoyam mula avidya gamyatam. This is the mula avidya, the original ignorance. Vikshepa avrutti rupabhyan dvidha avidya vyavasthita na bhati nasti kutastha iti apadana avrutti. Now this avidya, mula avidya, vikshepa avrutti rupabhyam dvidha avidya vyavasthita. Now this ignorance or avidya is expressing or existing in two ways. One is vikshepa avrutti rupabhyam. Vikshepa and avrutti. Vikshepa is agitation, avrutti is covering. In our Panchadashi only 7th chapter, these 7 steps are brought there. First is avidya, then avarana, then vikshepa, then paroksha jnanam, then aparoksha jnanam, then dukkha nivritti, and ultimately nirankusha trupti. These are the 7 stages through which a seeker has to go. So here also, first of all, avritti. Avritti means not knowing what is that. Avritti doesn't mean we do not know anything. We know, but we do not know what it is. Our good example in Vedanta is not complete unless you bring our good friend, snake and the rope. See? So, if you have not seen, not stepped on a rope, you will never think about snake. But it was little, not absolute darkness, not sufficient light. So you were walking and you happened to step on the rope, and because it is also round and it little bit moved, and you can't see what it is, but you know something is there. Therefore, what it is not known, but something is. This is called as incomplete knowledge, ajnanam. It is not absence of knowledge. And then, what it could be now, when you step on the rope, will you imagine, oh, I stepped there, something was there, I thought I was stepping on an elephant. No, when you step on the rope, you can't imagine I step on the elephant. Similar type, so rope, snake. Thereafter, what is the inquiry? Do we go to inquire about the rope or about the snake? About the snake. Earlier, what was the means of knowledge? Means of knowledge was our feet and darkness. Wrong means of knowledge cannot give you right knowledge. Then we go with the right means of knowledge, a torch and a stick for killing the rope or the snake, for killing the snake. When you go with the right means of knowledge, the snake will disappear, rope will be seen, and thereafter will you use that stick? ना अब लाई है तो मार दो, अरे. See how simple it is. Not only that, will thereafter you continue your inquiry, it is okay, it is good, it is a rope, but I am worried where the snake has gone. Therefore, when we come to discover our divine nature, we do not worry about what will happen to this world. Then we continue Karnataka. Therefore, don't trust any Mahatma. They don't love anybody. They are doing only Karnataka. Because you can love somebody is other than you. When there is a complete oneness with the totality, there is neither love nor hatred. It is just experience of being. So, na vikshepa avriti rupabhyam dvidha avidya vyavasthita, then na bhati nasti kutastaha. And because of that, we are not able to experience, but I can't experience the Kutastha Chaitanya, and I don't see, I don't think it is anywhere. Kutastha is only imagination. How can I be the Kutastha Chaitanya, meaning the Brahman? This is iti apadanam avritti. This covering experience is called as the willing power of the ignorance. Now, अज्ञानी विदुषा पृष्ठा कूटस्थ न प्रबुध्यते न भाति नास्ति कूटस्थ इति बुद्ध्वा वदत्यपि. Now, when an ignorant person was asked by Vidusha, by the wise man, about the kutastha, so kutastham kim prabudyate? He said, no, I don't know what is kutastha. Na bhati na asni. If there is a kutastha, I should be able to see, I should be able to experience. We don't experience Kutastha Chaitanya at all. And he is telling this only in the light of the Kutastha Chaitanya. Buddhva api. It is something like, I don't know, this example comes here. No. It is something like this. A person says, I don't have tongue in my mouth. Can he say like this? The one who has this tongue in his mouth, he cannot say like this. Now, the one who doesn't have the tongue in his mouth, he also cannot say like this. See how beautiful it is. Similarly, you are experiencing everything in the light of the Kutastha Chaitanya, and you say, I don't know, I don't experience anything. Because we have trained ourselves to experience as an object of knowledge. Therefore, that experience where knower known division dissolves, that experience is God realization. This we tell in simple words: experience without experiencer. When we experience something, oh, today's chapati was, puri was so good. Comment on that. See. But can we say anything about our own being? Aha, aha, I am. पूरा हूँ आज, आधा नहीं हूँ. No. Our being cannot be established through any known means of knowledge. But that because of which all knowledges are possible, that is the truth. So, ajnani vidusha prushtaha kutastham na prabuddhate kutastha na bhati asti iti buddhva api vadati. Although he himself is the kutastha chaitanya, but because of his preoccupation with the body and his good and bad experiences, that experiencing personality is the one who was asked, do you know Kutastha Chaitanya? I had done nothing like that. Because he has never been exposed to something subtle studies in life. Therefore, friends, remember this very important thing. Till such time we have this notion, what I will get as a spiritual practice, what I will get after studying Vedanta. If this comes to our mind, we are not qualified to study Vedanta. You should have told us earlier. Better late than never. See, friends, it's so important. Otherwise, we'll go imagining, see, when I sit for meditation, I see the light, And every day waiting for the light. Kya ho gaya? Fuse ho gaya? Nothing will happen. When you go to sleep, what happens? Yes, what happens? People who are awake, they are happy. Haven't you seen when the kids are creating problem, what the mothers do? Hey, put him to sleep. He's very disturbed, therefore put him to sleep. Now when he sleeps, then what happens? Has anything happened? Nothing. His body identification gone. See? One girl taught me this, maybe about 8 years or 9 years. Her younger brother, maybe 9 months or 1 year, was crying evening time. Children cry. So the mother told, put your brother to sleep. He is troubling me. I have to cook food. Swamiji has already come. So she took that child, took him to the balcony, and said, hey, look, see, car is coming, such a big car. The child looks at it. Then he remembers, I was crying. Again the sister says, look, see, big cow is coming. See, how many legs are there? See. The child looks at it. Again he is reminded, no, sorry. Are you not doing it every day? So after 3-4 times, then the child goes to sleep and she puts him on the bed. So I said, hey, what were you doing? Swamiji, I was putting my brother to sleep, he was troubling mummy. I said, why are you telling lies? No, Swamiji, why lies? I have seen you are showing your brother the cow and the car and all that, and you tell me that you are putting him to sleep. She asked me, Swamiji, do you have a child? I said, no, you will not understand. See, the purpose of showing the cow, the car, the purpose of telling, go to heaven and you will be liberated, is to bring you back to your divine nature. See? The child who was crying disappeared in the deep sleep. In the same manner, the one who wants this, I want it, all your wants will disappear. And then see the joy. See? Naiva tasya krutenartha na akrutena kaschana. There is nothing to gain, nothing to lose. So, saprakasho kuto avidya tam vina kathamavruti ityadi tarka jalani swanubhutir grasatyasau. Now here, don't get lost in the logics, and therefore I do not entertain these question answers. Initially, I was very much entertaining question answers. There are 2-3 books also. I don't know whether they are gone. The books were FAQ 1, FAQ 2. I do not know where they disappeared in the course of time. So it was a great explaining more. After some time, I came to discover they are taking me for a ride. From that time onward, no questions, no answers. So here the question. Saprakashaha, Kutastha Chaitanya is self-illumined. Kuto avidya, how there can be darkness in the sun? If Kutastha Chaitanya is self-illumined, how there can be darkness, avidya? And ta vina katham avruti? And without that avidya, ignorance, how there can be avruti, again birth and death? Ityadi tarka jalani, these kinds of logical fallacies, swa anubhuti grasatya sau. Because of this wrong logic, you are divorced from your own divine nature. Understand a simple thumb rule, that about which you have no question is the truth. One sentence, everything is over. About what we don't have question? We don't have question about our being, whether I am or I am not. See? Do we gain anything? Have we lost anything? That which is gained through ignorance is never a gain. That which is lost through ignorance is never a loss. See, my friends, so saprakasha kuto avidya tam vina kathamavruti ityadi tarka jalani swanubhuti grasati asau. Because of that, we are unable to cognize our own divine nature. Swanubhuto avishvase tarkasya api anavasthite katham va tarkikam manyaha tattva nischayam apniyat. Swa anubhute api avishvasa. The one who doesn't trust his own experience. And tarkasya api anavasthite. Logic are never conclusive. One logic will cut the other logic. See, they cannot be conclusive. And this being the condition, so we don't have acceptance of our own experience, and we are carried away by the non-conclusive logic. Katham va tarkikam manyaha. So those who consider themselves to be great intellectuals, tattva nishchayam apniyat, how can they ever come to realize what is the truth? And therefore, why? The sky is too high. Drop these two words from your head. Why and how? On this a question. Why? What is our life? We are whiling our life by howling at the life. Where you don't ask question, you are with the reality. When you open your eyes, you see the color. But why I see the colors with the eyes? Then see with the nose. But it is the same mind. When the same mind is there, then why through the eyes only colors and form, and through the nose, why not colors and forms? No, from the nose, colors and form come out. See, friends, recognize it is so simple. So, buddhya aroharaya tarkaschet apeksha tatha sati swanubhutyanusarena targata ma kutarkyatam. If you say no, logic is necessary for accepting the truth as it is, then very good. Logic should be applied in support of your own experience. Swa anubhuti anusarena tarkyatam. What is our experience? Our experience is we have no experience of birth, we have no experience of growth, we have no experience of death, and ultimately we have no experience of absence. Now put your logic in the light of this your own experience. Swa anubhuti anusarena tarkyatam. Ma kutarkyatam. Don't go in a negative way. See? There was one boy who used to bring his mother for satsang. And that day I was coming down from the temple step by step, and then Amma was with me. So one boy was waiting for her. I said, Mama, who is that boy? Is your son? Yes. He brings me every day and takes me back. I said, you are so lucky to have a son like this these days. Then I told that boy, I said, hey, I am very proud of you. You are helping your mother to come and go back from satsanga. God bless you. Swamiji, I got a question. Yes. You tell God is everywhere, is it not? Yes. Then why she has to come to the temple? I said, look here, you are intelligent. Your mother is not. Therefore, she doesn't understand. God is everywhere except in the temple. When I say, what? I said, yes. God is everywhere except in the temple. You are intelligent, wise, you can understand God is everywhere. But your mother is illiterate, she doesn't understand. God is not in the temple, He is everywhere. Swamiji, you are pulling. I said, you should thank me, I am not killing you. Logic, logic, logic. Therefore, ma kutarkyatam swanubhutya avruttau cha pradarshita ata kutastha chaitanyam avirodhi tarkyatam. Therefore, taking the foundation of your own experience, put your logic in such a manner that you are coming back to your divine nature, not going away from. Logic is a very terrible instrument. It is like, a knife with both sides sharpness. It can help us, it can hurt us. Therefore, Kutastha Chaitanam Avirodhi iti tarkyatam. Think in this manner that you are divine Kutastha Chaitanya. Tachet virodhi kenayam avriti anubhuyatam vivekastu virodasya tattvajnanam iti tattvajnanene drishyatam. See? Now this Kutastha Chaitanya, if it is contrary to the ignorance and covering, see, tacha virodhi chet kena ayam avritihi anubhuyatam, then this covering is experienced by whom? See? Now this way discrimination has to be practiced. And whatever is contrary to our experience and logic, that should be accepted. See? Therefore, take a simple word. What is this? This is a tap. I know. What is this? I do not know. So, who am I? Who is supporting both knowledge and ignorance? Therefore, do I fall in the category of known or unknown? See? To say that I am or to say that I am not, both are fallacies in expression. Again and again, when we reflect in these lines, our thinking process will completely change. Avidyavrata kutaste dehadvaya yutachiti shukto rupam adhyastha vikshepadhyasa evahi. Now avaran was explained, now vikshepa is explained. Avidya Vrita Kutaste, the Kutastha Chaitanya is covered by the ignorance or the incomplete knowledge. Avidya, Deha Dvaya Yutachiti. Who is covering? Who is covered? The Chiti, the consciousness is covered. The Kutastha is covered by these two bodies. So Avidya Kutaste, the Kutastha Chaitanya is covered. Now, Shukto Rupyam Avad Adhyastha. Now, this is a standard example in Vedanta. During the bright day, if you go on the seaside beach, there will be lot of shells or some kind of thing coming from the sea. And because it is bright thing, everything starts shining. So there was a person, he was walking and he saw somewhere something very bright shining. So he took out his hanky and as if showing something, and then he purposely dropped it. Oh, it has fallen. And then he lifted it in such a manner that shining object also was included along with the sand in that hanky. Now, it must be. Nobody is watching. Oh, it's the shell of. So, where was that silver? Where was it? So, it is an appearance. Appearance appears but doesn't exist. See? We have to work on these themes constantly. Then only the truth is revealed. So avidya vrita kutaste. Kutaste chaitanya is covered by the avidya ignorance. Deha dvaya yuta chiti. And consciousness is covered by this, chiti itself is kutastha, by these two bodies. Shukto rupavad adhyastha vikshepadhyasa evahi. And then we start imagining I as a body is real and I as a subtle body or the jiva is real. So what is happening? We are borrowing the reality from the Kutastha Chaitanya or the Chiti, and we are borrowing the modifications of the Prakriti called the gross body and the subtle body, and we are making a hodgepodge, a khichadi. And that khichadi is the jiva. Our example is simple to understand. Man, wife, husband is born. What is the husband? Husband is the khichadi. In this khichadi, sabudana and mungfalli. See, friends. I don't know where I have seen genius people are infinite in this world. There was some kind of thing, and my friend told me, Swamiji, at least today you should observe fast. Why? Today is what kind of Ekadashi? Badi Ekadashi bhi hote na, some kind of you should observe fast. I said, okay, doesn't matter. Then what should I eat? He said, you can eat sabudana khichdi. I said, okay. Observing fast, what can I eat? He didn't understand the joke. Whenever I am miserable, when my joke goes flat, I am miserable. And this happens to me when I go to USA. They are dumb people. They don't have any wit anymore. So, when I went to somebody's house, I said, look here, today is Ekadashi. My friend told me that you should observe fast, so only sabudana khichdi. Yes, Swamiji, we will make sabudana khichdi. And could you imagine? Not sabudana and mungfali, sabudana and moong ki dal. I said, Dhanne, I accept my defeat. Genius are everywhere in this world. Can't even imagine sabudana khichdi with the moong, dal, chutney, achar, then what you call onion, garlic, everything, Sabudana khichdi. So I told Narayan, it is your prarabdha. What can I do? But that lady was not wrong. Sabudana khichdi. देखो महाराज अविद्यावृत कूटस्थे देहद्वय युताचिति शुक्त रूप अध्यस्था विक्षेपाध्यास एव ही. This is the projection aspect of the ignorance. First is ignorance. It covers, covering, avaranam. Because of the avaran, vikshepa comes. Now what is the vikshepa in our life? It is kutastha chaitanya is covered by the gross body and the subtle body. And because of that, Kutastha Chaitanya is covered and we start imagining that I am the gross body and I am the subtle body. In our Gujarat, they have got unique, what you call the terminology. Gross body, then subtle body, and the third, casual body. Bhagwan commits suicide. There is no need to talk Gujarati. So Shukta Rupa Madhyastha Vikshapadhyas Evahi. Now after this Vikshepa has come, thereafter what happens? And what is exactly Vikshepa has created? This is the next theme. Let us leave it for the next class before you all sleep. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.